Hi, I'm Kasey, and thank you for joining me for this 20-minute chest workout. What you will need for this workout is a couple pair of dumbbells and your body. So when you're ready, you can start by joining me on your hands and knees. We're just going to warm up the spine a little bit for cat-cow. So starting on an inhale, lengthening your spine, and then exhale, rounding under. Again, inhale, lengthening, and exhale, round. Try to keep your scapula moving down your back, right? So you're really focusing on that glide of the scapula because that helps warm up and prepare your body for the mechanic of chest motion. Because your shoulders are supporting a lot of the brunt of the exercise, you want to make sure that your shoulders are gliding properly. Last one. Then you're going to come out a little bit farther away as if you would in a plank pose, but for this you're just going to keep your knees on the ground and tuck your toes under. We're going to do a mini chest press, right, where you're bending your elbows out to the side and then exhale, straightening out. We'll do 10 of these, coming down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going to come to lay down on your belly. Think about rolling your shoulder heads back, right? Keeping your feet down on the floor, keeping your hands right underneath your shoulders. Press into your hands as you would a chest press, but you're just going to lift up to extend your spine and then come to a roll down one vertebrae at a time. Even as this is mobilizing your spine, right, you're still getting some work in your chest here, the lower pectorals, right, to kind of engage the underside also of your armpits. So you're really feeling the hollowing out of your armpits and the hand to shoulder connection. Let's take 2 more. And 1. Then you're going to come up onto the hands and knees. For this next one, we're going to do a shoulder cross touch. I recommend you start on your knees just because, again, this can be a lot, bearing in the shoulder as well as the chest. So on your hands and knees, you're going to bring your pelvis forward, right, as you would for a chest press, right, holding here and trying to keep this action happening at your pelvis. You want to keep a really nice long spine, right, and then you're just going to cross, shoulder tap, one hand to the opposing shoulder. Work on trying to keep your lower body as stable as possible. If you want to intensify that, you can go ahead and pick up your knees. And you're going to do the same thing. Cross, cross. Make sure you're breathing. Two more. Last one. And release. Press back to a child's pose. So with that one, you're going to get a lot of core as well as some work in your chest, right? But this is preparing us for the chest press that we're going to do on the floor. Really reach your fingertips up above your head and breathe deeply into your shoulder blades, your armpits, and the sides of your back. Try your best to release your butt all the way down onto your heels. If you have a limitation, just kind of let your bum hover above the heels. And just breathe. And then coming up, you're going to come to lay on your back for this next one. And you'll grab hold of the dumbbells that suit you best. I'm going to use 10 pounds, but you're welcome to use a little lighter, a little heavier. And make sure that when you come back, that you're holding the weight so that you don't hurt your shoulder or your arm. Right, so you want to keep yourself centered. Make sure that you have the weight right in front of your pelvis and then come back, right? So that you're supported, that there's no pressure, that there's no tension in your wrist, right? A lot of times people try to pick up the weight after they're already on the floor or are already on the bench, and it's hard on your shoulders, right? So we're starting just with a basic parallel press. Keeping your elbows supported by the ground. Let's do a 90-degree angle at the elbow. And keep your neck super long. And then you're just gonna press up, right? Notice too how much your arms wobble after you press up. So one thing that I like to do is I like to really slow down, right, when you first start a motion with foreign weight, right? So really try to get stable before you press. Then when you feel really stable, keeping your feet rooted, go ahead and press up parallel and try to keep your arms, lock out your elbows straight and keep your wrists super straight as well. Bending down and pressing straight up. So for me, no motion is insignificant and should never be treated as such. Right? A lot of times people just want to move from one thing to the next to get their workout, but they're not really focused on what they're doing or what they're feeling. And it's a huge part of being well and getting fit, right? So really focusing on the stability of your joints as well as the activation of the muscles. Up. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest, and then we're going to turn our elbows out, holding here. First, just finding our scapula are nice and open, our shoulders are nice and open, and then you're going to press up and bring the shoulder heads together, opening out nice and wide. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Rest down for a moment and we're going back to the parallel grip to press. Stacking again the weights up, wrists right over the elbows, pressing up for 1 and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Rest, again, you might want to put the weights down for a moment and just turn your palms open to stretch out your pecs. Just stretch out to where the insertions happen in your shoulders. So you're really opening out wide and breathing deeply into this whole area of your body, allowing your joints to settle. And then go ahead and grab your weights again, making sure you're holding them nice and stable, turning open wide and pressing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Last set of each, keeping everything square and parallel. Again, you're going to press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Opening out again, holding, breathing and activating in your chest, pulling those weights toward each other for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and release down. Again, just taking a break, opening the arms out to the side and stretching the pecs. You might feel tension running across your sternum. Just try to feel that area relax and open with each breath. Then go ahead and send your arms all the way up overhead, reaching along through the fingertips. You'll just bring your arms all the way up and then press them down toward the floor. So you're going to get some arm work here, as well as some upper pectoral work. Pressing down. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Grabbing your weights again, holding them now just straight up. Right, here you're going to take your arms out, straight arm out to the side, right? So instead of being like this or like this, you're going to bring your arms right out like this and then squeeze those weights together. Know if you need to change the heaviness of the weight for this exercise is very different. It's more of a fly exercise and you're really going to utilize those major pectoral muscles, right? So you're opening out, squeezing and bringing back together again. Again, inhale and exhale. Watch the recruitment of the shoulder here. So a lot of times people keep the weights a little bit too high. You want to make sure that your weight is right above your chest. So you could draw like a plumb line down right into the center of your sternum. Opening out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, slowly releasing down. And then turn onto your side. We're going to come back onto the hands and knees. We're going to come back into a little bit of a plank pose. So I think the best exercise personally to work chest is a push. So, you know, the presses are great, dumbbell presses are great, but a push-up really works the chest the absolute best, which is why you always see people doing push-ups or hear about people with the huge pectoral muscles doing a lot of push motion. But even for minimal engagement and even for just finding some activation, the push motion is really good and it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic. But you don't necessarily have to come into these enormous motions that hurt your wrists and your elbows to get activation through your chest. You could turn your palms inward, right? The positioning of the hand is also very important. And when we place weight on our hand, it puts a lot of pressure in the ligaments in our hands, right? So make sure that when you're doing this, that your hand is being paid attention to, right? Spread your fingers apart, root down through the heels of your hands, come into a plank pose, right? Staying slightly turned in. You're just going to push backward, almost as if you were going into down dog, but not quite, and then come forward. Pushing back and coming forward. Back and forward. Take 4. Forward. 3. Forward. 2. Forward. And last one. And forward. Release your knees down. Again, come to lay on your stomach. Take your elbows nice and wide and come up onto your fingertips. Reach through the crown of your head, right? And then you're just gonna pick your upper body up. Try to round your upper spine a little bit and feel again that subtle action of your pecs, right? You might not feel it right away, but it's more of like a half cobra with a little bit of a round in your spine. And then come to roll down. Make sure that your elbows are pointing directly up, right? That you're stacking your elbows right over your wrists, and then you're coming up. Hollowing out your armpits, right? And you're really working a lot of the connectivity of, right, this upper arm to your pec, right? There's a lot of side muscles too that are getting activation here. This is really good for basic activation and sculpting of this muscle. And lower down. Again, coming up. Lower. Take 3 more. And lower. 4, 2. And lower. And last one. And lower. Take your arms out to the side and just lift them up off the floor. You're going to get a little lower back activation here, but think about also as rolling your shoulder heads back and trying to open up the muscles of the chest. And then come to roll down. And again, that's a slow roll down and a slow roll up. Down. Just having your arms lifted off the floor here, yeah, it's going to work the posterior muscles, but it's also going to work the eccentric contraction of your chest, which is another way to get good chest work. Lifting up. And lower. And again, last one. And lower. And then let's just do a mobilization exercise. Laying on your back, open your arms out to the side, and then you're just going to take one arm to your chest. Drag this arm all the way down the opposite arm. Turn your head. Roll all the way over. Reach your top fingertips past your lower fingertips. And then roll all the way back, dragging the arm and opening out wide. Again, fingertips to chest. Rolling over. Reaching long. Stretch, and then pulling back, and opening, fingertips to chest, turn and reach. And pull back. And last one on this side. You're reaching. And then pulling back. And then we're just gonna open the chest, right? So we're gonna come into a Setu Bandhasana, right? So you're gonna interlace the fingers behind your back and just try to spread the muscles of the chest that you just worked pretty hard with those chest presses. And just breathe deeply. And then you can release the hands and just come to roll down one vertebrae at a time. So that was a short 20-minute chest workout that you can do anytime. My name is Coach Kasey. Feel free to like or comment in the section below. And thank you for joining me. Have a great day.